two clerics will be in the dock in what could be a defining moment in their respective legal battles. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and Pastor Mukuba will appear before the Malawian High Court and Soweto Magistrate Court respectively, seeking justice. For Malawian Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, resident magistrate Patrick Chirowa's ruling will be telling on the extradition case. It is 4 months into the extradition case and it still seems a long way to go. Last Monday, Bushiri's lawyer Wapona Kita filed an application seeking the interpretation of the Constitution by the Chief Justice of Malawi on whether the SADC protocol is domesticated into the Malawian law.
Okay, the South African government is relying on the SADC Treaty as the basis for extradition. Now, the SADC Treaty provides that it will only be binding if it has been ratified according to the constitution of the respective states. Now, Malawi, as much as we signed the treaty, we have not domesticated it, meaning Parliament has never passed a law that it should be part of the laws of Malawi.
The defense consequently asked the court to refer the matter to the Chief Justice of Counsel for the Bushiris, argued on Monday that there needed to be a fine line between the Malawian law and the SADC protocol, since according to him, Malawi did not ratify the SADC treaty, making South Africa's case of extradition complicated. The state of Malawi, representing South Africa, objected to the argument of the defense for the matter to be referred to the Constitutional Court for interpretation.
This court to dismiss the extradition request, but because this is a constitutional matter, the Constitution must interpret the SADC protocol. That's what we're not comfortable with. At this stage, as long as we have satisfied the court that the matter relates to the application of the SADC treaty, which is not domesticated in Malawi, we're good to go to the Constitutional Court.
Patrick Chirowa will deliver a ruling on the matter today, having heard the arguments of the defense. A ruling, either way, will have its bearing on the extradition case. At the Soweto Magistrate Court, Pastor Mukuba will be facing charges of violating the Disaster Management Act and malicious damage to property. Members of the Johannesburg Metro Police Department stormed the Unity Fellowship Church in Soweto and made away with church equipment, saying the church had violated the Disaster Management Act.
Was done in Sibukeng. Today is happening here. The only thing is prayer. What we are dying for is prayer. Our sin is prayer. They say it's noise when we pray.
In the process, leader of the church was arrested and her ordeal was gruesome, as she narrated at her first court appearance in February.
I was never told what I'm being arrested for when I was taken from the house of the church. And then when we were going to the car, to the van, because there was no charge, I said, can I use my car to the police station? They said, no, Ambawen. Then we went to the van. If you see that video where I turned around, I was still asking, what is the charge? And still it was said, you will hear Pambil. You will hear when we get there. There was no charge. It took a long time for them to come up with the charges. Later on, that is when they say, okay, the rice. You are telling me about my rice in the evening, whereas you took me around 2 in the evening. And they first wrote something. If I can show you the rice charge, they first wrote something, it got stretched. He said, no, the thing has changed. Another instruction came, they wrote other things again. It was chaos there. There was so much confusion. So much confusion, because when things are cooked up, they don't add up quickly.
She says the church has been discriminated against in South Africa.
The church is discriminated against. The church is discriminated against in South Africa. We are being marginalized. And we are praying to God and we are raising up our voices that it should stop. And there is police brutality as well. Let me say it that we have been speaking, we have written, because we have seen that it is the prayers of unity that are shaking. The prayers of the churches that are shaking. We are saying churches are not going anywhere.
Is this a case of authorities coming up against God? We'll bring you all the latest from Milongo in Malawi and Soweto in South Africa, right here on AMTV.